The short answer is it would be extremely bad, catastrophic even. But thinking about it is an amazing way to understand the incredible physics that governs our daily lives without us even noticing it. So, let's run this thought experiment safely from behind our screens. Right now, as you're watching this, the Earth is spinning on its axis. If you're near the equator, you're moving at a blistering speed of about 1,600 kilometers per hour or 1,000 miles per hour. That's faster than the speed of sound. So why don't you feel it? The air in the cabin, your drink on the tray table, everything is moving together at the same constant velocity. Now, let's hit that imaginary pause button. If Earth stopped spinning in an instant, inertia would take over. Inertia is the principle that an object in motion stays in motion. So, while the solid ground beneath your feet comes to a screeching halt, everything not bolted down would continue moving eastward at that incredible speed of 1,600 kilometers per hour. It would be more powerful than any hurricane or atomic bomb, instantly pulverizing every structure built by humans. The oceans wouldn't stop either. They would slosh forward, creating a mega tsunami of unimaginable scale, washing over entire continents. People, animals, trees, rocks, everything would be flung eastward, tumbling across a suddenly still landscape. It would be a moment of planet-scale destruction, wiping the surface clean. There's no brake pedal for a planet, but this extreme thought experiment beautifully illustrates the immense kinetic energy tied up in Earth's daily rotation. Okay, let's dial back the disaster movie plot. What if the stop wasn't sudden? What if Earth slowed down gradually over millions of years and eventually came to a complete, gentle halt? This is a more plausible, though still highly unlikely, scenario. The first thing you'd notice is the change in our day-night cycle. Today would no longer be 24 hours. A day would become a year. The Earth would still be orbiting the Sun. So one side of the planet would face the Sun for 6 months, while the other side would be plunged into darkness for 6 months. This would create a world of extreme temperatures. The side experiencing its half-year-long day would become scorchingly hot, far hotter than our hottest desserts, baking under a relentless sun. Water would boil away, and life as we know it would be impossible. Meanwhile, the other side of the planet would be trapped in a half-year-long night, the temperature difference between the light side and the dark side would be extreme. But what about the space in between? There would be a narrow strip, a twilight zone or terminator line, separating the scorching day from the freezing night. In this permanent twilight, the sun would always be on the horizon, either perpetually rising or perpetually setting. Temperatures here might be more moderate, potentially allowing for liquid water to exist. The massive temperature difference between the hot and cold sides would generate colossal permanent winds as the hot air from the day side rushes toward the cold air on the night side. The weather in this livable zone would be dominated by constant, ferocious storms. But that's not all that would change. The shape of our planet itself would be altered. Earth's rapid spin creates a centrifugal force that causes it to bulge slightly at the equator and flatten at the poles. It's not a perfect sphere. It's what we call an oblate spheroid. The water in our oceans is also pulled toward the equator by this force, making sea levels there higher than at the poles. If the rotation slowly ceased, that equatorial bulge would recede. The planet would relax into a more perfect spherical shape. As this happened, the water that was piled up at the equator would have nowhere to go but toward the poles. Over millennia, this would cause a monumental migration of our oceans. Water would drain from the equatorial regions, exposing a new supercontinent of dry land around the Earth's middle. Meanwhile, the polar regions would be drowned, with two massive polar oceans forming where there was once land and ice. The world map would be completely rewritten. Coastlines, countries, and climates would be unrecognizable. So let's recap this mind-bending journey. We learned that Earth's spin is what gives us our day and night, and it holds our atmosphere and oceans in place as we hurtle through space. A sudden stop would be an extinction-level event of epic proportions, wiping the surface clean. A slow stop would transform our world into a planet of two extremes. One side of eternal day and scorching heat, the other of endless night and freezing cold, with only a thin, stormy twilight zone in between. It would also reshape the very continents and oceans. But here's the good news. Physics is on our side. There is no known force in the universe that could just stop our planet in its tracks. The conservation of angular momentum, one of the most fundamental laws of physics, ensures that Earth will keep on spinning. Its rotation is actually slowing down, but infinitesimally by about 1.7 milliseconds per century. So there's no need to worry. You can sleep peacefully tonight, blissfully unaware that you are on a cosmic carousel spinning at over 1,000 kilometers per hour. If you enjoyed exploring this wild what-if science scenario, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We love diving into these cosmic questions, and we got an episode on what it's like to fall into a black hole coming up very soon. Thanks for watching.